Skip to here if you don't want to hear me talk about Ash's Unova mods, because there was some stuff I forgot to mention while I was talking about them.
I should have also done that for my own video.
Dude, I didn't even talk about Charizard in Unova, and it's Charizard in Unova. What you see is what you get. And that's when my Charizard fan glasses were shattered. I still think Ash's Charizard is cool. It's just that they made a mistake bringing him back. The only two good things that came out of it was he made his first fire type friend and the fight with Dragonite that lasted 20 seconds. Also, Charizard's Unova moveset is based on Lance's Charizard, and while that's a pretty cool reference, I don't care. They really had to replace Charizard's Seismic Toss with Slash. Come on, man. Also, I wouldn't have figured out that reference if it wasn't for Champion Blaze. You guys should really check him out. The subject of Charizard again. What happened to his girlfriend? You know, the one he was protecting? Just went nowhere after Johto. I know Bulbasaur also had that girlfriend problem, but Charla's not a character of the day. So it's canon that Charizard ghosted Charla? Previously on my Unova video, which you should definitely check out by the way, I said that Crocodile was fine. I was joking, of course. He's in art with Ash's other aces for a reason. Although, I don't get why Charizard's in there. It would make sense if he was the ace in Johto, but not Kanto. Definitely not. It would either be the big crab, the mutated frog. Before I start complaining about Charizard again, Crocodile is really cool. I love his shades. I love his personality. He even gloats to Iris's Axew at one point. My only problem with Crocodile is that he wasn't present at the league. Against Cameron, that is. Yeah, he brought Oshawott and Boldore.
Last time I didn't have anything cool to say about Ash's Leavanny. I still don't.
Ash's Pikachu being brought back in the Kalos region instead of staying home in Pallet Town? Color me surprised. The most interesting thing about Ash's Pikachu in Kalos is that his ketchup addiction comes back for 2 seconds. Did you know gaming? This chubby rat was the MVP in the league finals, defeating two pseudos which were Alon's Tyranitar and Alon's Metagross. Can I just say that I'm really glad that they made Metagross not sound like a Reddit user? I do think that Tyson's Metagross is worse than Orla's. At least hers can carry people. Anyway, I liked the Metagross fight a lot more than the Tyranitar one. The Tyranitar one was just pretty standard shit. The highlight for me was when Clement got really excited. Bonnie was right, somebody should take care of him.
Yet she doubles down.
The Metagross fight was better because it lasted longer. I even thought that Pikachu got taken out by Metagross by the dust settling in. Twice. I have never seen Metagross this scary with agility before. Then again, agility isn't even that impressive. Pikachu isn't really that interesting for me to care about. He doesn't even learn a new move in Kalos. I really like when Pikachu learns new moves, as it allows him to utilize them in really interesting ways, like he does with Iron Tail, Thunderbolt, Quick Attack? At least he learns Electro Web in Sun and Moon. Speaking of that, happy 8th anniversary to Sun and Moon, one of the best series of all time. I bet if I just went randomly into a Sun and Moon episode, I would find screenshot material.
Rowlet dies.
Everyone and their mother knows about Ash's Greninja, whether it be on his battling, or the bond phenomenon he has with Ash, or minus. Majority of people hate him, majority
of people like him. I swear I can speak English.
I'm more with the latter of this Pokemon, although it's kind of weird that this is the specific Pokemon Ash has this specific connection with. Like, you'd figure they would do something like this with Pikachu, but this Greninja, this guy? Greninja is just like every other Ashmon. He even eats normally, which in my eyes is a problem for an ace. Ace Pokemon are supposed to be quirky with their food. It's the law. Grovyle was too cool for school for food. Chimchar ain't out of a can, don't ask why that's quirky. Even Charizard faced the other direction. Is this a weird nitpick? Absolutely. Greninja actually had a lot of personality as a Froakie and a Frogadier. He scrapped with Ash's Hawlucha of all things. Other moments of Greninja showing personality were Froakie freezing in place, him being disappointed that he has to sit out for a gym battle, giving me wonky Staraptor vibes. his stupid grin. It's kind of funny and insane that this is his second fully evolved water type. His first one was Kingler, which he barely even used. Wow. Although unlike Kingler, Greninja isn't forced into retirement by Pokemon. He's forced by slime. Forget when I said ping pong is the worst way to lose a Pokemon. Losing your strongest Pokemon because a legendary isn't bothered to save the world is not what I expected, but hey, I am not here for it.
The vines also come back. This shit is cheeks.
I quite like the Haluchador despite being another flying type. That's really cool. And yeah, I did skip Talonflame, but I have a lot to say about him, so I'm keeping him till last. I thought Halucha only scrapped with Froakie, but no, he's scrapped with a shiny Halucha, which was a champion, and Ursaring the Bully, who is accompanied by Conkeldor, which is really weird because you need to evolve Girder by trade. So did this guy, was this guy owned by a trainer at one point? Should I care? I wished Halucha wore this more often, like, come on! I absolutely adored Halucha's relationship with Ash's Noivern. It was so sweet when Halucha taught it to fly. Fletchinder also helped, which was a bonus. Ash's Halucha is just full of personality. I thought I wasn't gonna like him as much because as the way he scrapped, it just reminded me of Corphish scrapping with Grovyle, and I thought he was just gonna be a Corphish ripoff. I need to stop assuming things like that. Even Pokemon I really dislike, like Pidgeot, Totodile, and Gengar, they're all unique in their own way. Pidgeot came back in a cool ass way, Totodile's dancing's really cute, and Gengar, even though I really don't like him, could at least Gigantamax. Although he was the second one to Gigantamax. Huh. Did people split their brains when it came to the Kalos League? People forget that Noivern is still a baby, and he won't just become stronger just by existing. Takes some time for hatched Pokemon to be at least decent at battling. Like take Ash's Scraggy for example. Scraggy wasn't able to defeat the Galvantula in his debut when he hatched from an egg, but as the series went on, Scraggy became a decent battler. Sort of. He was packing moves like high jump kick, focus blast, head, butt, Leer, but that's the main problem with Ash's Noivern. He was caught too late, and the focus was still on Greninja at that point, so my guy basically got the short end of the baton passed. But what do I think about him? I like Ash's Noivern. It's cute, well, as a Noibat anyway. His battle against Zapdos was sick even though it got interrupted. Now that's a fitting Zapdos scream. It's a far cry from this. Does it not have a voice of its own? What is this, a Pierce effect? I liked that one episode where Noibat crashed into Breloom's flowers, and let me just tell you, this Breloom radiates masculine energy.
He's also really good at imitating motorcycles.
He's also an opera singer. Is there anything this guy can't do flawlessly? My only problem with Ash's Noivern is that he's quad weak to ice. Ash's Kalos team has the same problem as his Sinnoh team, and it's that most of them are weak to ice, which doesn't bother me that much. It's just that, how does this happen? There's something I don't get with Ash's Goodra's story. So Goodra's nemesis, being a Florges, has a sick Floette. My two questions are, how long has the Floette been sick for? And secondly, why is this the reason we should feel sympathy for Florges? She's done a lot worse, and we're supposed to feel sympathy because, oh shit, her middle stage is sick. She could have asked a caretaker that could have helped. Actually, her motive for doing this is that she thought Goodra was selfish and he'd take the water for himself, but nope, that's what Team Rocket did. Don't you just love misunderstandings? I especially love the bond he has with Bonnie's Dedenne, and obviously the gym battle against Clement's Luxray. Even with Goodra doing the it's corny, but it's good corny. I love it. Now let's talk about his lows. The Kalos League is where people think Ash's Goodra fell off, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about Sliggoo. I don't like how fast it evolved. I feel like it evolved before Ash's Charmeleon, which is not a good sign. I thought we might get a Sliggoo focused episode one of these days, but we didn't. Which is a shame because I really like Sliggoo. It's a middle pseudo legendary stage. I feel like he'd benefit from a focused episode or two. I know I just said I wasn't gonna talk about the Kalos League, but I'm gonna do that right now. I bet a few others, including myself, were really happy to see that Ash was gonna bring his old Pokemon, only to be disappointed that he brought back Greninja. Like, how cool would it have been to see Ash bring back powerhouses like Muck?
I was watching this video a week ago, and do people actually defend Muck? I like him and all, but there's literally no argument here. He is the worst Ash spawn for battles. He also lost to Team Rocket. You're a disgrace.
Greninja was actually done so dirty in the Kalos League. I don't know who thought him getting OHKO by a Bisharp was a good idea. Also, side tangent, I kinda wish Alon got Excadrill instead of Bisharp. Bisharp would have been way cooler. I really don't think I have it in me to talk about Talonflame. He's just boring. He doesn't really have a personality on his own. The only thing I liked about him was when he was scrapping with Moltres. Is what I would have said if he wasn't used in like 7 gym battles. I really like most of Talonflame's gym battles here. They're so good. 3D camera angles are just very great. So how about we take a look at Talonflame's performance in these battles, shall we? Fletchling's debut to Viola's gym was something, to say the least. They basically glazed Pikachu in the second rematch, so it's not even worth covering. 2 out of 10. The only reason it's even getting a 2 out of 10 is because Fletchinder's performance in Corina's gym battle was way better. He's now packing moves like Flame Charge and Steel Wing, but I gotta ask, how fast is the average Machoke? It's his worst stat, but it sure doesn't feel like it. It feels like his defense and speed swapped or something, and then cranked into an 11. Fletchinder gets a 5 out of 10. He did pretty well against Machoke, but he fell against Lucario. I mean, was he really gonna defeat Lucario? The Whippersnapper's gym battle was kinda underwhelming. I mean, Fletchinder was using Flame Charge over and over. I guess that was just Ash's strat, but it was pretty kinda boring to watch them just dodge it over and over. Although that last Flame Charge was pretty cool and satisfying to see Jumpluff just drop. I'm giving this another 5 out of 10. I feel like Fletchinder's aim is just a little off. Also, is it just me or does this guy sound like AJ? We're at like the 6th gym and Fletchinder hasn't learned a new move. I don't mind Flame Charge and Steel Wing, but get rid of Peck, little bro. Fletchinder's performance was pretty mid. Fletchinder does what he does best and spams the living hell out of Flame Charge and Steel Wing. Steel Wing actually comes handy here. Ash's strategy here was just one I cannot agree with. Fletchinder got faster and faster with every Flame Charge he did on Trick Room, and yet he still couldn't avoid the Moonblast, even when Trick Room was finished. Fletchinder's performance gets a 5.5 out of 10. Defeating a Sylveon is a good feat, methinks. You don't even need me to tell you why this is his best performance.
To dodge.
Ow. Talonflame still has Flame Charge, Steel Wing, and nothing else. I'll probably have to accept the fact that this is the most mid-Ashmon. Like, his focus episodes were kinda boring. The final focused episode Talonflame gets doesn't even focus on him. His evolution moments were cool though. Talonflame's performance on battles were, for the most part, pretty good. The tag team and Sylveon come to mind, but I just wish that Talonflame just had a personality and had a better moveset. Overall, Ash's Kalos team is good. There's just like one flaw I have with each member. Greninja steals the whole show. Talonflame needs a better moveset. Thank God he doesn't have Flamethrower. I actually have no flaws with Hawlucha. He's just so fun. He's full of personality. He's great. His battles are pretty good. I like his flying press. Definitely one of my favorite Ashmons. Noivern evolves way too fast for my liking, and he was caught too late. Everyone knows that. And finally, I'm still pissed off about OHKO'd Goodra over here. Who sat down with their Inky Blob pen thinking to themselves, yes, this is perfect? That might have been Alon's Bisharp, honestly.